Most men have been handed one narrow script about sex. You're either straight or you're gay. There's no in between, there's no nuance. Maybe you believe in bisexuality, perhaps, but either you're into guys or you're not into guys. And so if you step 1 inch outside that box, if you notice another man is attractive, or you get turned on by something you didn't expect, the panic hits. What does this mean about me? Welcome to Mr. Health, Mind, Body, and the Bedroom, the podcast where we cut through the silence and get real about men's health. I'm Dr. Mike, certified sex therapist and men's mental health expert. Around here, we're not sugarcoating the tough stuff. From performance anxiety to porn use to stress, depression, and intimacy, this is the place for honest conversations, practical tools, and strategies that actually work. If you ever thought, why am I the only guy dealing with this? You're not. You're in the right place. Let's dive in. Who is ready for the most uncomfortable podcast you're ever going to listen to? Here's something most men won't say out loud. You can find another man attractive. You can watch same-sex porn. You can have an experience with another guy, and it doesn't automatically define your sexual identity. Sexuality isn't a box. It's a spectrum, and most men exist somewhere in the gray area, even if they've been taught to panic about it. So let's talk about it. Because this fear, this shame, this confusion, it keeps men stuck, closeted, anxious, and disconnected from their own sexuality. Today, we're talking about sexual fluidity, why attraction doesn't always mean identity, and how you can stop trying to fix something that was never broken in the first place. So, most men have been handed one narrow script about sex. You're either straight or you're gay. There's no in between, there's no nuance. Maybe you believe in bisexuality, perhaps, but either you're into guys or you're not into guys. And so, if you step 1 inch outside that box, if you notice another man is attractive, or you get turned on by something you didn't expect, the panic hits. What does this mean about me? But attraction doesn't always mean sexual identity. Humans are wired for curiosity, variety, and arousal from a wide range of stuff. It's normal. It's biology, guys. The problem is men are socialized to be terrified of anything that challenges the straight label, because we've tied masculinity into 100% hetero all the time. But real sexuality doesn't care about your ego or what box you're gonna check on your. I've worked with countless men who come into my office saying, I'm straight, but sometimes I watch gay porn. I'm straight, but I've had an experience in college and I can't stop thinking about it. I'm straight, but sometimes I notice attractive guys and it freaks me out. These men weren't confused about who they were. They were confused about the rules they've been taught. Because the truth is, sexuality is fluid. It can evolve. It can shift over time. It doesn't need to be a rigid label. And curiosity doesn't mean crisis. Because we need to be really clear. Watching same-sex porn doesn't make you gay. Getting turned on by something unexpected doesn't mean you're living a lie. Arousal is complicated. It's not your moral compass. The brain responds to novelty, intensity, taboo, and fantasy. Sometimes to things that don't line up with how we identify. And here's the kicker. The more you shame and suppress it, the stronger it often gets. Curiosity thrives in secrecy. But when you can look at it and with awareness and acceptance, the anxiety fades. You realize it doesn't have to define you. It just expands your understanding of yourself. So how do we deal with sexual fluidity without losing our mind and sense of self? Number 1, ditch the labels. You don't have to figure out if you're this or that. You're human. Attraction happens. Get curious, not judgmental. Ask yourself, what am I drawn to about this? The body, the energy, the dominance, the connection. Curiosity leads to insight. Understanding fantasy versus reality. What turns you on in your mind doesn't always reflect what you want in real life. And that's okay. This is why men can watch a variety of different porn genres. It doesn't mean that they actually want to act all that stuff out in real life. Some of it they may be curious about integrating, but just because you're turned on by something you watch or see or observe doesn't mean that you actually want to do that in real life. And it actually doesn't mean that you need to question your entire sexual identity. It's not that deep, guys. Sometimes it's just an arousal response. Let me tell you about a client that I had. We're gonna call him Jake. He was terrified because he started watching gay porn. He loved his wife. He never wanted to be with a guy, but the curiosity freaked him out. Once we talked, he realized what drew drew him in wasn't about the gender. It was about intensity and connection and fantasy. Once he stopped shaming it, it lost its power. Jake didn't need to change his identity. He didn't need to get divorced from his wife. He didn't need to come out as being gay. He just needed to accept that desire is complex and that curiosity doesn't have to equal crisis. So here's your challenge. Next time you notice attraction or curiosity that surprises you, pause and ask yourself, what about this feels interesting and arousing? Is it about power, connection, energy? What emotions come up when I actually notice it? Fear, shame, curiosity, perhaps excitement? Don't judge it. I just want you to notice it. Awareness is the antidote to shame. Men, your sexuality isn't a cage. It is a landscape. You don't have to fit in a box to be valid. You can be straight, bi, curious, fluid, or none of the above, and still be confident in who you are. Sexuality is personal. It's not political. And the more you're honest with yourself, the freer you can feel. If this episode hits home, feel free to hit subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and keep exploring your own story without shame. I hope I didn't make you too uncomfortable, but this is the reality of men's sexual identity. You've been listening to Mr. Health, Mind, Body, in the Bedroom. If today's episode hit home, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an honest conversation about men's health. Share this with a friend who needs it, because the chances are he's struggling in silence. And if you're ready to go deeper, head over to MrHealth.com for courses, tools, and resources to help you build confidence in your mind, your body, and your bedroom. I'm Dr. Mike, reminding you, you're not broken, you're not alone, you're just ready for the truth.